My dad built a wooden swing in the sunroom, just to see me smile, but I was afraid of heights, too scared to really use it. When my little brother, Leo, was born, he became the prince of the family. One day, he was swinging too high and went flying off. I lunged to catch him, and we both crashed to the ground. I gritted my teeth against the pain, trying to pull Leo up, but when Dad came running, all he saw was my brother on the floor. His face was a mask of fury. He grabbed a metal drying rack and lashed at my legs. "You vicious little brat. Did you want to cripple your brother?" He scooped Leo into his arms but locked me, my leg now broken, in the scorching sunroom. "Stay in here and think about that black heart of yours." They rushed Leo to the hospital, and no one looked back at me as I collapsed from dehydration under the brutal sun. As my throat burned with thirst, I could only wonder, when they came back, would they still love me? The sun was a searing hammer, beating down on the glass of the sunroom. The heat found its way into every crack, every pore. I'd always been frail. The doctor said I needed more sun to build up my calcium, so Dad built this sunroom for me. But now, this room, once a symbol of my father's love, had become my torture chamber. My skin reddened, then stung, a pins and needles fire spreading across my body. Soon, transparent blisters began to bubble up, a dense, horrifying constellation that made my scalp crawl. The agony of my shattered leg was buried under the burning, only to scream back to life with a fresh wave of blinding pain every time I tried to move. My throat felt like it was packed with hot coals. I licked my cracked lips and tasted blood. My vision started to blur. The familiar tightness of an allergic reaction, of anaphylaxis, was closing around my neck. The temperature in the sunroom kept climbing, the UV rays a million invisible knives slicing into my exposed skin. I curled up in the small shadow cast by the swing, but even that sliver of mercy betrayed me as the sun arced across the sky. In my final moments, I was still thinking of my dad. He would come back. He would hold me, just like when I was little, and call me his sweet girl. He would tell me a story to help me fall asleep. He would definitely come back. Clinging to that last, desperate hope for a father's love, I took my final breath. I felt my body grow light, so light that it began to float, rising through the glass roof until I was hovering in the air. I looked down. On the floor of the sunroom lay a twisted, broken thing. That was me. My once pale skin was covered in hideous blisters and red patches. Some had burst, leaking a yellow fluid. The broken leg was bent at a grotesque angle, swollen like proofing dough. My face was a frozen mask of pain, my mouth wide open as if in a silent, unending scream. So ugly. No wonder Dad didn't love me anymore. I just watched, suspended in the air. There was no pain, no sadness, just a strange, hollow peace. So this is what death is like. The sun sank below the horizon, the sky shifting from orange to a deep, bruised purple. The world fell silent, and I just hung there, watching as my body slowly stiffened in the cooling air. At 8 o'clock, the familiar sound of a car engine pulled into the driveway. They were back. Dad opened his door, and Mom got out, carrying Leo. He was bouncing with energy, clutching a Captain Comet action figure, looking completely fine. "Thank goodness Leo was quick on his feet today," Mom said, her voice a mixture of relief and lingering fear. Who knows how badly he could have been hurt if his sister had managed to push him off. Dad was carrying a chilled watermelon in one arm and a large bag of snacks in the other, all of Leo's favorites. The three of them looked like the perfect, happy family. I watched them walk right past the sunroom. For a moment, Dad paused. He glanced at the closed glass door, the curtains drawn just as they had left them. Silence radiated from within. "Stubborn little thing,"